Driving to save the world from the evil Decepticons, the heroic Autobots are led by Optimus Prime. He's more than meets the eye. He's a Rohan in disguise.
Rohan? Who is this guy? Rohan. The one and only Rohan.
Welcome to the most must-see television program. Welcome to Rohan's Corner. Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode. Thank you to my showhorts. And this week on the corner I thought I would have a conversation with you all about Transformers, the third party versus Hasbro discussion. It's something that we laugh about every week on the show, don't we? Andy and Jamie fighting the corner for Hasbro Mainline or Generations or the other acronym which I hate to use, which I shall not be using, that four-letter piece of garbage. Or Alexis and Paul talking about third-party goodness. And, you know, I've been collecting Transformers, as most of you have, for eons. We all started off with Hasbro, obviously. Some of us had some more funky figures when we were growing up, with the likes of Takara little bits and pieces, or KOs that came about in faraway shops, maybe some GoBots. But ultimately, it was all Hasbro. Hasbro created the lore, they created the brand, as Andy has said many a times on the show. But are the third-party figures much better? Are they amazingly better? The key thing for me though is if somebody put a gun to my head and said you need to pick one type of scale that you can collect, I personally would be collecting just Legend scale figures, because they are so much more for me in terms of tune accuracy and articulation, engineering, the feel of the quality, and the size class. I really enjoy the smaller figures, to be honest with you. It's kind of like bang back into the history books and talking about world's smallest Transformers when they first came out. I really loved the WST figures. I collected a lot of them, but actually sold them back in 2011 or something, because I figured that the articulation wasn't very good, the posability wasn't very good, and they kind of died really. They didn't continue to grow the character base, unfortunately. Got to sort of the Dinobots and a couple of the triple changes, and then it sort of died there. I don't think we really got the full Generation 1 cast, which is a shame. Kind of like where Masterpiece seems to be going at the moment. They seem to be doing more and more of the existing characters, and they're not finishing off the entire G1 base. The other thing that I would say is, if you had to then put another gun to my head on the other side and said, hey Rohan, right, you said you're going to collect Transformers Legends class figures, which brand would you choose? Well, this is a really tough one for me, because I am a huge fan of Magic Square. I'm also a big fan of McFan's Toys. And if I had to pick between the two, I'd probably say Magic Square. But if I were just a Transformers Magic Square buyer, I'd probably be waiting a long time to complete my collection, and also to get my next fix, because let's face it, these bots don't come out very frequently. And therein is the answer to the overall question: why do I collect so many various different kinds of guises, and not just me, all of us, elements of Transformers lore? It's because a couple of things. One, we love the brand, and two, because we don't have the patience. We want to get the next fix, and so we pick up these Loot Crate boxes and the likes, which I talked about before, and it becomes a thing. You start spending and spending and spending, but where does it end? Who knows? Anywho, I am firmly in the two camps: Hasbro for the lore and for creating the brand and for value for money. Believe it or not, I know I complain every week about price increases and the cost of Hasbro product, but actually they are still the best value for money. And third-party Legends, for their immense capabilities in terms of engineering and quality and in terms of tune accuracy, that's where it is for me. I do also have combiners, but Masterpiece scale, but you know, let's not go there. So for another week, that's been me on Rohan's Corner. Catch you again next week. Bye bye.
Transformers, Rohans in disguise.